Swish and flick.
Swish and flick.
Who indeed may buy? Who indeed?
But who may abide the day of his coming? And who shall stand when he appeareth? Who shall stand when he appeareth?
One, two, three.
But who may abide the day of his coming?
That's why it's slowing down. 3 is down at the bottom.
And who shall stand when he appeareth? And who shall stand when he appeareth? When he appeareth.
I get confused on where to breathe to press them.
No different than anywhere else you come in on the first beat. You just bring them in. You're only going to give them a press beat. I mean, technically, if it was 4, if it was a 4 beat and you were a concert band person, which we are not, right? Then you would give them 3. So if you were taught in traditional conducting, you would go 3, sing, right? And you just take from there and you just go. And then you don't breathe this way, right? We don't breathe like the band people do, and that's the reason why it's stupid. So that's why I don't want you to learn that. We don't, because you don't breathe this way. That doesn't make sense. We always go, right? And you can't go 3, 4. That doesn't make any sense, right? It's the way you do it. So if I'm in front of a concert band, I always go 3, ba, ba, and I'm in, right? In this case. But in this case, you're just coming in. It's no different than you go 1 and you sing. Just breathe, sing. You just go, oh. That's all there is to it. You don't have to go. We don't have to figure out that there's 3 beats beforehand, because there aren't 3 beats beforehand.
So can we
Do you understand this? This is the difference between the instrumental and the choral. All we're going to go, oh, Shanendoah. And usually that's when you always sing oh, Shanendoah, so you can hear this. And breathe.
Oh, Shanendoah.
And breathe.
Oh, Shanendoah.
Or you can be a little more musical, and all you do is use a little satchel. Just breathe and.
Oh, Shanendoah.
Does it work the same way for the 2 pattern then? The one that goes like an arc?
Yeah, all I'm doing is taking this 2 pattern, and I'm just doing this. So here's the 2 pattern, and I'm just going to slowly move it this way, and that's all I'm doing. I'm taking it this way. I'm just taking the 2 pattern and shifting the focus, right?
Okay.
So the difference is I have oh, sing it one more time, everybody, and breathe.
Oh, Shanendoah.
Right, then I have control. Sing oh again.
Oh.
As long as I'm lifting, right, I told you about lifting, I have your control. As soon as I drop, you stop singing. I don't tell you what to do. You just do it. You understand? That's the reason, that's the difference between this understanding about how to conduct this way as opposed to the traditional way. You're just never going to have control because you don't understand how the voice works or how music works in terms of lifting the sound and pulling the sound. You get that? So as soon as you have this control, it's like, oh, I can make you go as fast or slow. I can make it sound differently. It sounds like it goes, listen to one more time the difference between the 2. Sing Ocean.
Shanendoah.
As opposed to breathe.
Oh, Shanendoah.
Boring.
Right? Most schools will always start, oh, Shan. If you use traditional pattern and we go,
Oh,
Shanendoah, I long to hear.
There's no music in that, right? There's no music in that. Now, you could teach your singers to ignore you and say, oh, I'd like the phrase to go forward, so you describe it. But I don't have to do that. I just say, here, that's the way I want it. Does that make sense? I want to give you that power and that tool so that you can make music with your hands. This is now your primary instrument. Question, Jake?
Can't you make like musicality even if it's just the 4 pattern? Like you can do the sagittal, oh Shanendoah, even if it's
That's
straight?
sagittal.
I know that's what I'm saying.
Right.
So can't I like use? Is it okay to use like the pattern if we're more comfortable doing that and still
Well, 2
add
pattern is still a
musicality?
2 pattern, no matter how you use it. But you can't use sagittal in the traditional pattern. If you use this way, single Shanendoah.
Oh,
And then you
Shanendoah.
go this way first. Sorry. Breathe.
Oh, wow.
There's a traditional pattern. It's the same as this. Breathe.
Oh,
It's actually the
Shanendoah.
same. It's not this.
Oh, Shanendoah.
Do you see the difference?
Yeah.
I pulled it forward using sagittal, and he just said, well, you can use the traditional pattern using sagittal, but he had no choice but use sagittal movement. That's not the traditional pattern. Traditional pattern, if 2 is, listen to O Shanendoah.
Oh, Shanendoah, I long to hear
Now you
you.
can invert that. This is what you get. You get a little bit more choice.
Oh,
I
Shanendoah.
can stretch a little bit more, right? But only sagittal gives you this.
Oh, Shanendoah, I long.
Every time I want to use that, anytime I want it to carry through, I just use sagittal and it'll move forward.
I guess my question was like, so at least in our beginning conducting class, we did the normal pattern, but we would move it forward or backward or whatever. So is it possible to keep the pattern but still use the sagittal plane? Like it wouldn't be technically the traditional like pattern, but it would be like the same thing. Just
We're not at 4 yet. I don't consider 2 really much of a pattern. Right? 1 is basically, this 1 in compound and simple is a matter of control. Control of your tempo. Really, that's really all it's about. And then of course the size will determine dynamics. So we're really back to tempo and dynamics, which you had in your circles, but now we seem to have lost. And that's my point. All of a sudden we get into pattern, and you'll lose your ability to control the choir and actually make any music. I want you to gain back what you had before with the circles. Now we're moving into pattern. So we can't really go into 4 and 3 and talk about the pattern until you can even just do it in 1. Right? All of you demonstrate you can do it in circles. Right? Okay, so you can do it in circles. You're just now applying that to a pattern that's 1-dimensional. That's unfortunate. You've got to learn to make it 2-dimensional by stretching it this way, or in 2 pattern, stretching it this way. Make sense? Okay, so we will get to that.
Okay.